Hey, what is up, everybody? This is Cam Jennings from Epicconversions.com. Welcome. This is episode 10 of The Mighty Few. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today. And what are we going to talk about today? Today, I want to talk to you about a little something known as the free line. That's what we're getting into today. Before I get into that, I just want to remind everybody, I like to think I give my best free content out on my email list. Okay, so what you want to do is go over to Epicconversions.com, join my email list. Anyways, what about the free line? What are we talking about here on episode 10 of The Mighty Few? This is our last episode of season 1 of The Mighty Few. I don't know if I'm going to come back and do another season of The Mighty Few. I have no idea. You guys will have to let me know in the comment section if you have enjoyed this first season of The Mighty Few. If you have, maybe I'll plan a season 2 and I'll do another 10 episodes. So who knows? We'll see. But we're going to wrap up season 1 here with a banger. We're going to be talking about the free line. What is the free line, first and foremost? Okay, the free line is a barrier. You know, let's put it this way. Let me give you a little context for the free line. In life, and you know this. In life, there are some places that have barriers, right? Clear, distinct lines where when you cross them, you know you have crossed them, okay? For example, I am a big NFL football fan. I love the Cleveland Browns. I'm a big Browns fan. And, I watch a lot of football. And, there's this phenomenon that I noticed, right, in football. And the phenomenon is that sometimes, for whatever reason, like a fan wants to jump out of their seat at the game and run onto the field. They want to run onto the field, right? But when this happens, when a fan jumps out of their seat and runs onto the field, man, it is crazy. People tackle them. The cops come out there and arrest them. They get banned from the stadium. All kinds of bad things happen to these people who get it in their mind that they want to run out onto that field. And if you've ever seen this happen before, and it doesn't just happen in football, it happens at lots of sporting events, right? Baseball, I've seen it happen, baseball games. I've seen it happen on YouTube, with soccer matches and stuff like that. For some reason, sometimes, fans of sporting events, they want to run out onto the field. It's almost like they can't handle they just want to be even closer to the game, right? They want to be even closer to the game. They got to run out on the field. And man, something bad always happens when they do that, It's like there's this barrier, this place that you should not go, right? And a fan should not go out on the field of a professional sporting event. So that's barrier, right? We get it. Barrier, all right? So free line. The free line is this invisible line. I first heard about this from Eben Pagan many years ago. And the context that he was using it in was moving the free line. All right. Now, the free line is this kind of invisible line in your business, right? And imagine this. Imagine to the left of this invisible line is all the stuff, all the information, all the services that you're willing to give to your customers for free, right? In the spirit of attracting people to your business, in the spirit of attracting them to what you have going on, pulling them into your universe. We could say The Mighty Few here, this show that you guys are watching, this is a show, it's completely free, and it's designed to pull people into my world, right? Now, everything to the right of that invisible line is the stuff that you offer for money, okay? So we got this invisible barrier here in the middle, and everything to the left you offer for free, and everything to the right you offer for money, all right? Now, this is the free line, and this is an interesting concept because of the simple fact that when Eben Pagan was talking about the free line and moving the free line all those years ago, what he was talking about was offering more valuable information and more valuable services to customers for free, because that will shock them. When you're offering clearly valuable information for free, that will shock them into becoming your customers, right? They will get your free stuff and they will say, wow, this guy's offering this for free. I got to know what the paid stuff is like, right? Now, man, this was a long time ago, okay? This was like, we're talking, when I first heard about this was like 2012 or something. So people's attention spans change. What they find valuable changes. Like the perception of value changes, okay? Like I don't think people really respect free, okay? I don't think people really truly respect free. Every once in a while you'll find someone who does respect free, and they will take free information and they will really, really apply it and do something. But I think that generally, if people get things for free, they don't truly respect it. And you might say, well, Cam, you're giving me free information right now. Why are you even doing it if you don't think people respect free information? Well, I'm doing it because people still want to know what they don't know, right? I can sit here and have this conversation with you, and I can tell you some things you don't know, and like it'll be interesting to you. But the fact of the matter is, you didn't raise your hand via your wallet and give me money and tell me, I want to know these things. I want to know these specific things. Please teach me how to do these things. You didn't sign up to be taught anything. You just want to know what you don't know. I mean, I could have used clickbait titles, and I could have like said, let me give you 5 of the most dangerous cities in America or whatever. And people will like skim that video and they'll kind of like half-heartedly be interested and check it out. Because people want to know what they don't know. But, real learning is painful. Real learning is, it's hard. It's hard to learn new things. And people don't just like, they're not just automatically willing to like commit to learning something, right? That's different than just wanting to know what you don't know. So anyways, the point that I'm making here is I don't think that people really truly value free stuff, okay? That is what I'm saying. And on the flip side of that, like I see examples every day of people like giving like other people advice, like personal advice about how to run their business and stuff like that. And it's not very good. Okay. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, you take somebody like me. I don't know everything there is to know, but man, I am really good at a few things. And the reason I'm good at them is because I've been doing them for a really long time. Okay. So let me just give you an example. You know what? I feel like I'm, rambling on. Let me give you an example. Okay. I was reading this on a subreddit just this morning. This is just this morning I was reading this. Okay. This is in an email marketing subreddit. All right. So this guy says, I don't know how to start. That's the title of the post. And then he goes on to say, hey, I offer email marketing for fitness and martial arts shops. I already have a website and a business email. But my problem is I don't know how to get clients. My emails get almost zero response. I don't have luck with Instagram. If you have any advice, please tell me. Right? So here's a guy who is selling email marketing services for fitness and martial arts shops. But this guy doesn't know how to get any response by email. Can you imagine if you were a martial arts shop and or you were a fitness shop and you hired this guy to help you? How's he going to help you? He can't even help himself, all right? And the thing about it is, he's in an email marketing subreddit, all right? He's in an email marketing subreddit. So what's he doing? He's asking for free advice. Free advice, man. He wants people to pay him for his advice, okay, that he doesn't even know how to give because he doesn't know what he's doing, right? He's a poser. This guy does not know his own craft. But he's in the email marketing forum, or in the subreddit, and he's asking for free advice on this subject, okay? And like, it's so telling, all right? This is the kind of stuff that happens with free advice, all right? So here's one of the replies that he got. Now, I say that I point out this particular reply because this is someone who's doling out free advice, free personal advice, okay? And he says, here is your strategy. Write valid, valuable, and useful content on all of your social media platforms, including your website. Okay, we're starting pretty good, I suppose. People don't like being sold to. They want to be able to make decisions based on information that allows them to make the best decision possible to join, sign up, or buy. What? That's a little weird. Doesn't quite... They want to be able to make decisions based on information that allows them to make the best decision possible to join, sign up, or buy. I don't know. There's something weird about what is being said there that puts me in a state of confusion. And the only time I usually get in states of confusion like this is when AI has written something and it doesn't quite make sense, okay? So I'm just going to put that out there. I'm not saying that AI wrote this response, but this is kind of a strange response. It's like it passes the eyeball test, but it doesn't quite make sense when you think about what is being said. So he goes on to say, this builds trust every time, but what converts is the experience your audience has when on your pages. That means everything they see, read, and watch makes them feel good, right? That's what converts, according to this guy. What people experience, what converts is the experience your audience has when on your pages. Everything they see, read, and watch makes them feel good. I don't really agree with that statement. I don't think that's what makes things convert. Why? He goes on to say, why? Because people buy with emotion and justify the purchase with logic. Yeah, okay, I agree with that. That's true. It's just a mix of human and sales psychology. You say so. Once you learn how to write that type of content, it becomes easy and you get big results. But here's the catch. Most people think they know what to say and how to say it. Then they hear crickets. Sound familiar? Okay. You'd think if he says sound familiar, he would follow up on that particular thing he's talking, that particular line of logic that he's going down. But he doesn't. He just switches to something else and he says, regarding metrics, every social media manager or business owner is stuck on reach, engagement, likes, comments, etc. These are fun metrics, but they are fun to analyze, but they tell you nothing of real value. The metrics a business owner really cares about is how many followers you acquire, because they are warm leads. So it's not reach, engagement, likes, or comments you should worry about. It's how many followers you acquire. How many real conversations have they had on the phone or chat? How many sales did you make? These are what keep a business growing. Finally, it's all about what you say and how you say it. It's the messaging. I constantly get SSMs and business owners who swear up and down that they know what their ideal audience wants and how to message them properly. That is until I get the aha moment and, now I understand. Oh, wow, I didn't think of that, etc. And at that point, we move forward. There are a lot more details, but if this makes sense, it's the beginning of a great journey for you. P.S. More details are available. That's the kind of free advice that's being doled out on the old email marketing subreddit, okay? And I think that advice is, very general. I think it's very general. It's not really specific to this person. And I think that it is not very good advice, personally. It's very disjointed. It almost doesn't make sense sometimes. And it's exactly the kind of thing that you would expect, that I would expect, when I'm asking specific personal business questions in a free subreddit on Reddit. I'm going to get some random person giving me some free advice that's worth about what I paid for it. This is like the blind leading the blind, is what I'm saying, okay? The blind leading the blind. Look, the free line is important, all right? The free line is important. Now, again, three things that I want to tell you about the free line. One, you need to define your free line. What is it for you? Everyone's a little different. What is your line? What is your invisible barrier? What are you willing to give away to people? And then what are you not willing to give away to people? Everyone's got their own version of that, okay? You need to define yours. Two, you need to leverage your free line. What do I mean by leverage your free line? What I mean is that whenever you create a piece of content, whether it's free or whether it's paid, you also create the option for an additional piece of content. So what I mean by that is if you create a piece of free content, you also have created the option that you could produce the paid version of that free piece of content. Okay? So like if you create a piece of paid content, you've also created this option that you could, if you wanted to. You don't have to, but if you wanted to, you could create the free version of this paid piece of content, right? You see what I'm saying? And all you have to do is ask yourself this question, like, what would the free version of that piece of content look like? What would the paid version of that piece of free content look like? You just have to ask yourself the question, but recognize that whenever you create a piece of content, free or paid, the option to create the other version of it also exists. So this idea is really, really leveraging your free line. You're taking the content that you create and recognizing that every time you create a piece of content, you've actually created at least two things, not just one. You created the piece of content, but you've also created the option to create another piece of content. And the other piece of content is going to be equally as valuable. It's just going to serve a different purpose, right? Depending on what we're talking about here. If you created a piece of free content, well, the option exists to create the paid version of that, and that version will serve the purpose of making you money, whereas the free version will serve in the purpose of putting people on your list, and then vice versa, right? So leverage your free line, all right? So what's the third thing that I can tell you about the free line? The third thing is very simple. Respect your free line. Respect your free line, okay? I cannot stress this enough, okay? There are like so many people out there that are trying to give away free information, and it's all over the place. And if you're not careful, you're going to feel like, oh man, I need to do more. I need to do more. There's all this free information out there. He's giving away that. She's giving away this. Unbelievable, man. Oh, man, I need to step my game up, man. I need to move my free line. I think that's a mistake, all right? You define your own free line. It's not based on what everyone else is doing. It's based on what you're doing. It's based on your universe and how you see the world, okay? And you have to define it, and then you got to stick to it. You can't be afraid to tell people, hey, listen, I don't do that kind of stuff for free. I don't give that kind of information away for free. I offer consulting. I offer, coaching, whatever. But yeah, I don't do that kind of stuff. Don't be afraid to tell people where your free line is. Don't be afraid to tell them. So these are the three big things that I would tell you about the free line. Now, I want to get into something else, and normally I would wrap this up, but this is our last episode. This is season 1, episode 10 of The Mighty Few, and I want to take this a little further, okay? Because I know that people say, well, listen, if such and such over there is giving away all this valuable information, and they're very well established, and they are doing so well, how could I not be giving away also a lot of valuable information? How could I not also be giving away a lot of valuable stuff in order to like attract customers. How can I be so stingy when everyone else seems to be giving things away so easily? Well, here's what I'm going to tell you, all right? And you can take this how you want to take it. If I were you, I'd take it to the bank. You need to ask yourself, why do people buy things from you to begin with? And I think if you're honest about it, you're going to realize that what I'm about to tell you is true. If you search your heart, think about why you buy things. Think about why other people buy things. So take it like this, right? If I offer you a like something for free, and it's really cool and it's really valuable, and then you say, well, this is really awesome, I got that for free, sweet. If this is for free, I really want to know what the paid version of this would be like, right? You have that scenario, right? That exists. That's exactly what Ebb and Pagan was talking about all those years ago, okay? But then, like, there's another scenario, like, where I don't, like, really hard teach, okay? But what I do is I captivate people. I get them really interested and really curious about what I'm selling, right? I have them to where this seems like this is going to be really awesome. I get them hyped up, okay? I always take this back to The Matrix, all right? This movie, The Matrix, now some of you watching this video, you probably weren't around when The Matrix came out. You only know it after the fact. But I was there when The Matrix first came out at the theaters. And like, there was so much hype and anticipation surrounding this movie, okay? And I want you to know, in that original ad campaign that they were running for The Matrix, the thing about it, what I thought was so awesome, was you didn't know what The Matrix was. You had no idea. So all this hype was generated for this movie. The house was full, right? The seats were stacked. Everybody was there. People wanted to see this movie. It was very, very hyped up. People were highly anticipating this movie, okay? But all those people sitting in that movie theater and all those movie theaters across the country, none of them knew what The Matrix was. None of them. Nobody knew what The Matrix was. Everybody wanted to know what The Matrix was. That was part of the campaign. The only way you're going to figure out what The Matrix is if you come watch this movie. That's the only way you're going to figure it out. They didn't let you know what The Matrix was in the advertising campaigns. Nobody had any idea. They saw these trailers. They knew there was going to be a lot of action. It was like a sci-fi thing. It had really cool looking effects. But nobody knew what the heck this thing was. Nobody knew. All right? Now, what I'm telling you is that kind of like curiosity, that kind of like anticipation, that kind of captivation, that is what pushes the envelope when it comes to getting people to buy things. Okay? That is emotion. The kind of emotion our good sir was talking about here, but I don't think he knows what he's actually talking about. That is the kind of emotion that gets people wanting to buy something. All right? And like, it moves the needle far more than just dumping free information on people, okay? I can tell you that right now. And I've tried it both ways, okay? I've tried it both ways. I'm not saying anything to you that I haven't tried, all right? So like, have you ever heard anyone complain that when they watch a trailer, they feel like they just watched the movie? Like, hey, I just watched this 2-minute trailer for this movie, and I feel like I've already watched the movie. I don't need to watch the movie anymore. I already know everything about the movie's about. Who cares? Like, I've heard other people say that before, and I felt that way before. Why would someone feel like they don't need to go watch the movie if they've seen the 2-minute trailer already? Like, it doesn't matter how well you summarize the movie. There's no way you can fit a 2-hour movie into a 2-minute trailer, but that's how people feel. Why? Why? Because, information and like dumping plots and narratives on people, that doesn't push the needle like captivation and curiosity, okay? One is like giving people information, and one is like invoking emotion, okay? I've been using Canva for years, okay? Years. I've been using this software, this online software. And like, I know a lot of other people who use Canva, but I use Canva for my marketing graphics all the time. And I have never once like had this like desire to buy the premium version of Canva, because the free version of Canva does everything that I need it to do. It fulfills all my needs. You know, I've never once felt like I needed to buy the paid version. So literally, I have been milking Canva for years and have never paid them a dime. Not a dime. You know, and it's like, do I feel bad about that? Do I feel guilty about that? No, I don't. Because Canva has just been offering that for free this whole time. Now, the funny part is, if tomorrow Canva decided they weren't going to offer free services anymore, they were going to charge people. And they're going to charge people a reasonable amount, but it's going to be a monthly charge now. They're going to charge people $10 a month to access Canva or something like that. You know what I do? I just pay my $10 a month and access Canva, because I've been using it for so long that I'm just used to using it, and like it's worth the $10 a month for me. Now, if they said it's $100 a month, I'd be, I don't know, that's kind of steep. Let me see if there's some other free services out there. I probably would. I can be a little bit of a cheapskate sometimes. But that is me giving you an example of how people don't really respect free, okay? And like, what Canva thinks is that like, I'm gonna see how awesome their free stuff is. I'm gonna see like basically how far they have pushed the free line, how far they have moved the free line, and they're like, I'm gonna be like, man, if all this is for free, what is for paid? I gotta explore some of these premium services. No, I'm not like that at all. I'm just gonna use the free version. I don't need the paid version. You know, less is more in my opinion. You're gonna give me more with the paid version? I don't care. I'm just gonna do what I can do with the free version, you know? It's a prime example of how like this idea of moving the free line is it's not like the best way to sell things, okay? In my opinion. Now, yeah, I know that, you know, Eben Pagan was doing it back in 2012, 2013, whatever. But I'm just telling you my personal experience. You know, what moves the needle far more than moving the free line is captivation, okay? And curiosity, and invoking these kind of emotions like excitement, like the Matrix example, okay? These kinds of like emotions, getting people pumped up, getting people hyped for what you have to sell. Like this, you know, pushes the needle. It moves the envelope, pushes the envelope more than moving the free line, in my opinion, okay? Now, maybe that was different, like I said, back in 2012, you know, when, you know, it was a new concept, this moving the free line thing, and everyone was, you know, trying to, you know, top the other person and give more and more valuable information away. Maybe it was a little different back then, but you got to understand something. We live in a time where information is dumped on you like, you know, rain on the 4th of July or something. Like it's everywhere. You gotta understand, you live in a time where people can just run over to ChatGPT and have like a 15-minute conversation about any subject they want, okay? They can run over to ChatGPT and have a conversation about any subject they want, all right? So this idea of like shocking people with the amount of information that you're gonna give them away for free is like it's never been less valuable, okay? Whereas this idea of creating impact with anticipation, with curiosity, with captivation has never been more valuable, all right? So that's my thoughts on the free line. And, you know, you take it how you want to take it. If I were you, I'd take it to the bank. And, you know, it's a free show. So I doubt most people will make it past 7 minutes. So this stuff I'm telling you at the end, most of you probably won't even hear this. If you do make it into this video, let me know in the comment section. I'd love to hear from you. Probably one of the mighty few if you made it to the end of this video. But most people don't respect free, and they probably won't make it to the end of this video. They won't make it past like the first couple minutes. So, anyways, look, check it out. That's all I got. I wish you all the best in your online journey out there. Good luck. Keep your head up. Keep your heart strong. And above all, keep rocking. I'll see you guys. Peace now.